So, philosophical paradoxes are one of the things that intrigue me the most. I'm the type of person who likes to study, and when I study, I like to study problem solving. Like, how do you solve a problem? What are the different ways to understand patterns? And what are the different ways to come to conclusions in regards to trying to figure something out? Whether it's statistics, whether it's probability, or whether it's word logic and shit. Like, for example, if you're over here, you're not over there. You get me? Like little things like that. So you look for the consistencies to come to the inferences about what the hell you're trying to figure out. And when I trip out on this shit, I trip out how biases warp a person's mind because the way that you were raised or because of the things that you intake, you know what I mean, the things that you pay attention to, they warp you into believing something that could be a false narrative. And that's the reason why so many people live a fallacious life in regards to fallacies, thinking things are the way they are when they are not the way they are. So I'll give you an example. If you were raised all your life to think that red is blue and green is black, if anybody were to try to correct you, you're going to get offended because you think you know something that you don't know. And that's perfectly fine as long as your knowledge isn't harming anybody and you're not infringing your belief system on somebody else. But when you come down to the nitty gritty of everything, you start to understand how society is trying to build your character by the media, by entertainment, and by all this other stuff. If you go back to before TVs were created, people used to read a lot. And when they used to read, they used to do book burnings because there were certain books that would influence people in a particular way. And then if they didn't agree with it, they wanted to get rid of it. Nowadays, we call that shit ban culture or whatever the fuck you want to call it. When you disagree with somebody or don't like something, you try to ban them or whatever. To me, all that shit's a trip. If you look down to the core issue of any of this shit, it all has to do with the minority going against the majority when it comes to the way they think. To me, it's a paradox. Because no matter how smart you are, you're never going to be smarter than the group.